Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is your Geek Out for Friday, August 10th, 2012. The Geek Out is brought to you once again by GoToAssist from Citrix. You can take control of your IT world from one simple cloud-based platform. GoToAssist's proactive alerting allows you to fix small issues before they become big problems. And for a free 30-day trial, visit GoToAssist.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Pirillo. How do you feel about Gmail messages appearing in your search results? If you didn't catch the news, well, it's one of the reasons why we're reporting it. Google is going to start rolling out a feature which will allow your Gmail messages to show up in organic Google search results. I can't imagine them showing up in Bing search results. That would be a little awkward. But would you like this feature or not? And it seems that the opinion in the community is completely split. Personally, I wouldn't be much of a fan. Well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, I use Google Plus a lot. And that's a lot of content and, well, information that I would want to surface anywhere, especially if I was searching for it. Well, at least in Search Plus Your World. I don't know. I just don't use Gmail for email, and there's a lot of email I get that I never want to see again. Blizzard internal network compromised warns of customer data leak. If you have an account, change your password. And if you were following LockerGnome, this was posted way early on. This is one of the reasons we ask you to subscribe to our email newsletter, so that you can be aware. As soon as we post news, you follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Google+, not just YouTube, because it takes time to do a video, and we can't do a video for everything that, happens out there, and especially if your account is at risk. Change your password! I'm not mad at you, I'm just being emphatic, because you should change your password. Oh, and while you're at it, change your underwear. Imprisoned online, computer addiction is serious. I know I do joke about never leaving the house, but I do leave the house, some days more frequently than other days. But I don't think I would consider myself addicted. Yes, I do happen to check my email and social networks by way of mobile devices when I'm not in front of the computer, but I don't really always feel... Okay, so I do feel the need to always be connected, but I don't need to always be doing something online. Sometimes I can unwind and get away and zone out in front of a television without interacting with anybody. And sometimes you have to do that, right? Interact with other people, unless you don't want to interact with other people, and that's a completely different disorder altogether, much like trying to stumble through the end of a sentence. If you know of someone who you believe is addicted to the computer, we may have some suggestions to help them not do the whole computer thing anymore. And one suggestion, find another hobby. How police use ALPR to catch you driving without insurance. Well, that's kind of scary technology. Unless, of course, you've ever been the victim of an accident where the other driver didn't have insurance, and then it was just a pain to try to resolve, and sometimes you wouldn't even get any money from it. So, if you didn't know, ALPR, short for Automatic License Plate Recognition, there's a counterpart in the UK known as ANPR, Automatic Number Plate Recognition, but it's essentially the same technology. And just think about who they're protecting. American Red Cross Android apps that you need now. These applications, you may think, I'll get to them when I need them. No, these are the applications you need before you need them. It's like preventative medicine, because you never know when they're going to come in handy. And if you have an Android device, these are our recommended... These are our recommended applications that you install, because you never know when you will need them most. And you've got the space on your device. I mean, I doubt you're running out of space. And if you are, well, maybe it's time to uninstall a few unimportant applications like games and installing applications that may very well save someone's life, possibly even your own. What inspires you? In our mission to provide content to everybody who happens to be watching this video every day, we always look for inspiration, stories, perspectives, insight, and, inspiration can come from, well, anywhere. I mean, ultimately, I find inspiration in how our messages and our communications resonate with you. When you email me, and I know many of you do, and by the way, chris@pirillo.com, like I've mentioned in just about every other YouTube video, it's plastered on my Google Plus profile, Facebook, Twitter as well, so it's not like, I didn't know how to get a hold of you. I enjoy watching the interactions on the social networks. I enjoy the more private interactions, and while I cannot answer every single question that might come in, certainly I appreciate knowing how I've impacted you. And that's, kind of the drive that keeps me going. It's always good to know what you're looking for from me. And admittedly, I just want you to pay attention to me. Well, I've got, a few 100,000 of you guys to pay attention to, and I'm happy to do so, at least any way that I possibly can. But you should know that when you tweet, retweet, share, click, comment, not just in the video, what is it, thread? What do I call that comment thread that might be below? On the articles that we're publishing on LockerGnome.com, or if you're participating on LockerGnome.net, that inspires me. And it also inspires the other creators. Like, wow, they really liked what it was that I was doing. That's inspiration. Entrepreneurs and VCs tell the White House to focus on innovation rather than IP enforcement. Yep, not a shock. I like innovating. Problem is I have to rely on the tools that are at my disposal and figure out how to make them work for the things that I want to do. But I do believe that if we did spend more time getting people to do the things that they wanted to do without worrying about violating someone else's, intellectual property, the world would probably be a better place. Researchers create solar panels from cheap copper oxide. I have a couple of solar panels. They're not really powerful. They're designed to charge your devices, in case of an emergency or something like that. Solar technology is getting more efficient. I can't say it's incredibly efficient today. In fact, my energy company said that they will charge me more if I tell them I only want to use green energy. They'll charge me more. And I really have no way of knowing personally whether something is green or non-green. But they'll charge me more to save the environment. Is it worth the cost? Well, it depends. Google to begin punishing pirate sites in search results. So essentially, if someone claims a copyright or a DMCA notice against a website, it's not going to rank anymore. And this is good, I believe, for the average user. Have you ever searched for something and you know what you were looking for, and it was a certain brand or a name, and a whole bunch of crap came up before it? That's something that Google's going to be basically eliminating. That being a possibility. Getting rid of a lot of junk, a lot of spam. How does that do anything but help the user? LockerGnome.net user Callum Lord writes, what type of bacon do you eat, and do you always eat the same type? I don't... Bacon's bacon. I've had organic. Well, I guess it's all kind of organic. It's a synthetic pig that the bacon came from. TechX Software asks, Chris, do you need a programmer for LockerGnome? It's a possibility. There are a lot of people who can program, but just because you can doesn't mean you should be, or that your skill set matches our exact needs. We're always on the lookout for people who could complement our team. Programmers, developers, web developers, people who know WordPress inside and out, but just because you can install something or type a couple of lines does not really mean that you're going to match what we need today. But it is a possibility. Blood Brother CCCX asks, do you ever going to advertise something other than GoToAssist? I don't know, it depends. Does anybody else care to sponsor these Geek Outs, which I provide to you for free? It's actually a good tool. If you're in IT support, and I know a lot of you guys have your own IT business, and you're looking to, how should I engage the users I have? Well, why don't you just use the tools around you? That's just one option. It's a good option, too. That's what I use. Lee Tyler writes, you and your writers are amazing. Thank you. Have you commented on any of their articles today? The Gamer 120295 asks, is there something to organize cords of any kind, chargers, USB, etc.? I need someone? I think he meant something. They all pile up on my desk and are a pain to untangle when I want to try to use them. Got any suggestions? Thanks. I actually saw a product from Quirky. Is that the name of that? But it was also being sold on Amazon.com. And it's just a cord or cable organizer. All you got to do is, I don't have a specific recommendation, but if you search there, I guarantee you're going to find something that will suit your needs. And you know me, I like having a clean desk. Not even kidding. Everything is clean except for that post-it note, which I can't wait to get rid of. YouTube viewer Alqua Moose writes, I have Lion now. If I upgrade to Mountain Lion, will my applications stay? For example, Logic 9 is installed for my school. So will it stay? It should. If you upgrade Mountain Lion, over Lion. If you do a fresh install, no, it will not stay. But you may want to check to make sure that any application, especially the bigger ones, will actually work with Mountain Lion, because you may run into some compatibility issues. And I would say the same thing about anybody upgrading from one version of Windows to another. Always check for compatibility. I am just feeling tongue-tied today. We'll see you later. And the insurance isn't necessarily just for you. It's for potentially the other driver. Oh, and thanks for liking this video.